Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft on the AlphaCraft server. Right, I'm still over at Spawn, over at the Iron Alpha, and I've noticed that Jaques and Wild are doing a lot of building, as usual. They are very good at it and they do lots of it. And it's thankless, really, because they're doing all the building for Spawn, this fantastic station. And over there's Kenny's build, by the way. I'm sure you've followed him on some of his videos. He's another fantastic builder we've got on the server. He's just phenomenal. Jaques and Wild are using lots and lots of stone. Now the stone generator we've got down there below me works fine, and it's okay as an AFK stone generator. You stand there, you put something on your mouse, or you remap your keys on your keyboard, you stand there, you can generate stone. But if you want stone really quickly and lots of it, that's not really the generator for you. So I've come up with a design, an idea that's going to generate a lot of stone very quickly, and it incorporates the beacon, which I've finally installed inside the station. So we now have jump 2 and haste 2 on a beacon, and that's going to allow you to mine stone really quickly. Obviously you can't mine cobblestone really quickly, which is why it has to be a stone generator. But of course you can get cobblestone from a stone generator if you just don't use a silk touch pick. So the plan today then is to build it. I'm hoping there will be okay. I'm hoping it'll be okay. If it isn't, sorry Jaques Wild, I'll just have to move it later. But the idea, if you follow me, or you have followed any of my videos on the Frilioth server before, I came up with a cobblestone generator for Smurf, which made a massive cube of cobblestone. Well, this is going to be similar, but the mechanics have changed in 1.13, so I can't use the old design anymore. So the new design that I've come up with is rather observer intensive, as most of my builds tend to be, if I'm being honest, because it's my favourite redstone block of all time ever. So I'm going to be using a lot of that, but I'm also going to be using the water logging mechanic that's in 1.13, which is a fantastic mechanic, and I shall show you now. So in the past, stone generators were always prone to breaking because there was always a chance that the lava would come into contact with the water source block, and if the lava came into contact with the water source block, then the lava would turn into obsidian, or there would be stone created where the water source block was, and that would stop the water from flowing. That would also break it. But since the inception of waterlogged stairs, we've got a whole new ball game altogether. It's a whole new ball game. Sorry, that was an old airplane joke. It's probably gone over the heads of most of you guys, but anyway, nevertheless. So what happens is if we waterlog those stairs, the water stays inside here. It doesn't go over the back, which is brilliant. And what it also does, can I show you? I can't really show you, because if I show you, I'm going to waste a bucket of lava. But let me just waterlog these stairs. Waterlog that one and waterlog. I'd be better off making an infinite water source, but I haven't done it, so no, it doesn't matter. Right, so if I now put lava up there and lava just there, you see the lava flows down, and because it lands, oh, don't want to be doing that, do you, Frills? You and lava. Now, because lava's falling down onto the top of water, it makes stone. If lava flows into the side of water, it makes cobblestone. So the lava's on top, falling into the water, which is brilliant. But if I just put a water source block under there, instead of a waterlogged set of stairs, the lava would flow straight down. It would turn the bottom block, the bottom water block, into stone, and we'd lose all the water. The beauty of waterlogging a stair is that it doesn't remove the water. So the water will never disappear. So therefore the stone generator can never break. It's brilliant. I love it. So I'm going to rip this down and then I'm going to start building the... it's going to be quite massive. It's going to be 15 blocks wide. It's going to go 7 blocks high and it's going to generate loads of stone. So let me make a bit of space, dig out a bit of an area and then we'll start building. Okay, so I've got my hole dug. So first of all, I need to stick down some immovable blocks. These can be furnaces if you don't have obsidian. I just happen to have a lot of obsidian. 15. We'll have it 15 because of the redstone signal being a signal strength of 15. And then we want these blocks in front of it. These are going to be your waterlogged stairs. So now we've done that, we need to take out our note. We need some redstone now. So let's take out our... We're going to need some note blocks. There they are. We're going to need some pistons. Normal pistons. We're going to need some sticky pistons. I've got no room again, have I? And we're going to need some observers. Observers. Don't need they. My least favourite block. And then so we're going to need some note blocks down here. Like that. And then we need to stick some observers coming off those note blocks here. Am I going to be able to do this? Have I got enough room? If I crouch, I might be able to. Yeah. These just want to go into some solid blocks. May as well use stone, seeing as we're going to have lots of it. Stone like that. On top of those, we need some normal pistons facing upwards. So now the lava is going to go on top of there. That's going to be waterlogged. It's going to be running water here. The lava is going to flow over the side, turning this water into stone. And then we're going to have some sticky pistons, which are going to be sort of here. Sticky pistons here, and they'll fire out and suck in the block of stone. And then these pistons are going to push it upwards, so we're going to have a big wall of stone going up here. So I might need to dig out a little bit of space here because I need to now put an observer facing. Let's just put a temporary block here. I need to put an observer facing that sticky piston, and then we need an observer underneath it. So the mechanism is going to be along here, the clock, so to speak. It's going to activate this piston, this observer block, which is going to first activate the sticky piston. So observer's activated, sticky piston fires out, pulls a stone block back. Then the observer block underneath here is going to activate the note block, which is going to activate this observer block, which is then going to activate this piston. So this piston fires out, pulls the block back, and then a tick later, or a couple of ticks later, that piston pushes it up. The lava falls down onto the water, creating some stone. That piston fires out, pulls back the stone block. The observer there activates the normal piston, which pushes it up, and it goes round on a cycle. It's about, I think it takes, I don't know, 4 ticks. I'm sure there's an exact, now that Mojang have standardized the flow rates of liquids. I think there is a standard flow rate for lava, and I think it's 4 ticks or something like that, 4 or 5 ticks. I can't be exactly sure, but we'll figure out the timings once we've got it working. But by the time the clock gets round to firing again, the lava's fallen down and created some more stone. So let me throw down all of these observers and sticky pistons, and we'll have another look at it. Okay, now we've got that in, I need to stick in some redstone. And it's this redstone that's going to activate all of these observers. Do that and that. We'll probably want to replace the... I don't like gravel. I don't like... Because if you use gravel in redstone contraptions, if somebody moves something underneath, the gravel falls down, then it's going to ruin your redstone. So don't put gravel, don't put redstone on gravel. Don't have solid blocks made out of gravel if you want your redstone to work, because it's just not going to work. As soon as somebody moves it, it's going to break. So we'll do that. Let's grab some repeaters. Because the signal strength here, because the redstone is 15 blocks long, we have to put a repeater at either end, otherwise the signal is just not going to be strong enough to make it all the way down the line. There you go. So now I need to put some repeaters in down here. I think the timing is... I think there are 3 repeaters. I need a bit more space actually. Go under here as well. Now I could, if I didn't have that space, I could run a line of repeaters down here. But I've got the space and I don't have the repeaters. So I need a little bit more space. Yeah, I've used a little bit more space. 1, 2. I believe the timing needs to be 3 repeaters on 3 ticks. But we'll play with the timings later. That's the beauty of being able to play with things like this. So I'm going to lob this in there, and then we'll work on the start and the stop mechanism. Okay, so we've got the redstone in at the back. We've got the pistons in. We've got the blocks in that we're going to waterlog. We've also now got a start-stop on it. So if I flick the lever, the observer gets pushed down, and because it's been pushed down, it'll create a redstone pulse, which is picked up by the repeater there and sent down this line, which activates all the pistons, and then it comes back again. And as soon as this redstone line here is lit, this observer detects it and then puts out another pulse. So if I want to turn it off, I just pull the observer out of the way and the system stops. And that way it doesn't have to be running continuously. Now, as I say, we'll work on the timings later. If we have it too slow, then cobblestone forms in there in a few places. You'll get a few blocks of cobblestone in there. And if we have it too quick, the piston goes out and comes back in again. Too quick to pick up too quick for the lava to turn the water into stone. So we've just got to mess about with that as and when. But that looks, so far, that looks fine. So I think now is the time to start waterlogging some stairs. So get out my buckets, get out my infinite water source. Start waterlogging some stairs. Now, waterlogged stairs and waterlogged slabs work in the same way as normal water. So if I put a block there, then that block in the middle becomes waterlogged, and then I can just walk down. So I don't really need an infinite water source somewhere else. I can just use the stairs, which is kind of handy. There you go. All done. So now, once I put the lava there against that block there, it'll flow down, turn that into stone. But I've got to be careful doing that because I've got nothing here to stop the lava from flowing over. So what we need to do to start with is grab some stone, some temporary blocks, and we need to put a line of blocks here, and this is going to stop the lava from going everywhere. Okay, so now when we put the lava in, it's just going to turn those blocks there, the water there, into stone, but the lava's not going to flow out all over the place. So now I need to go and grab myself loads of lava. I don't think 2 blocks are too 2 buckets are enough. 1, 2. If we put one there. 2 buckets does all the way up to there. So I'm not going to need as many as I thought. We'll have another one. Another one there. Excellent. So let me go and grab a little bit more lava. I'll only need another 2 buckets. Fabulous. And then I'll be back in a second. Brilliant. So I'm back with my lava. Running with buckets of lava. How crazy is that? I'll stick another one there. Is that going to be enough? Did I only need the one? That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Only needed 3. Perfect. So now, if I turn it on, all of those stone blocks there should start getting pushed upwards. I might just have that setting. Perfect. That's fantastic, isn't it? Right, so once we put a floor on this, we need to be able to insta-mine all of this stone. And as I said, because we've got we've got the Haste 2 beacon over there, it's insta-mine. It's brilliant. Fantastic. I really could do with having a block. Maybe I'll put dirt over the top of it, because dirt's not insta-mine. If I put stone over the top of this lava and you're on here whacking the you're whacking the stone with an insta-mine pick and you've got lava underneath you, you could be banging trouble. So maybe I'll grab some dirt and put some dirt over there. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. But then we need to start putting some pistons in here to push all of this stone this way, and we can only have the stone going up 8 blocks because that's as high as you can reach. Any higher than that and you can't really insta-mine it, because you've got to jump up and jump back down again. So we need some more obsidian along the top. So I'm going to throw in some obsidian 8 blocks up off the ground. I'm going to put a bit of dirt in there. We're going to fill this in because we've got the timings right. And then we'll worry about putting the wall of pistons in to push it that way. Fabulous. Okay, so we've filled the floor in now, and I've left just a little bit of room here for the redstone that's going to power all the pistons at the back. And I've dropped a bit of a clanger. Me and adding up aren't brilliant, but anyway, I'll explain that in a second. So this, we're going to use the same circuit that powers the pistons underneath to power the pistons at the back. So the redstone across the back of the pistons fires the sticky piston out, pulls the stone block back, then it fires the piston underneath, pushing it up. A few ticks after that, we're going to stick a few repeaters in here. It's going to activate this observer, or this observer tower. And on here, we're going to have a line of, let's put that block back in again. We're going to have a line of blocks running all the way down here that's going to have redstone dust on top of it. And then we're going to have pistons facing all this. All the back is going to be a wall of pistons. But because a signal will only travel 15 blocks on redstone, and the signal and the observer blocks start here, I can't have the observer block starting here because then this first piston won't fire. So it's got to start here. But that does mean that the piston down the end here won't work, because this represents the 15th block for the redstone to run down, which is a bit of a problem, but I'm sure I can cope with that. So what I need to do now is stick in a wall of pistons running all the way down there. Let's just stick in these blocks first. And then I can run my pistons off of them. As I say, with Insta-mine, I can stand here and look up and then instantly mine all of them. Being careful not to mine the blocks underneath. So once this is full, you can literally just run down and Insta-mine most of them. Why did they not Insta-mine then? Interesting. Interesting. So now I'll stick the wall of pistons in, and then we should be able to see it working. Okay, so I've put some lighting in for when it gets dark. I've put some lighting in at the top as well. Hopefully that'll be enough lighting. There's no point really in decorating this up too much, because ultimately it's going to get pulled down again. When the guys have finished building around here, this is going to get pulled down again. But I wanted it to look half decent, and I wanted it to be lit up so things didn't spawn in here when we were around here. So all things being equal, then I've put like I said, I've put everything in place, and as long as I've got the timing sorted out underneath, it should push the stone up and then push it along that way, quite a long way actually. If I've counted correctly, it should come all the way to the end here. Once the bottom's filled, it'll start pushing up to the next level, and that level will get filled. Then it'll push up another level, then that level will get filled. Instead of me talking, let me try it out. It's going to be quite noisy, so I'm going to move away from the mechanism. It looks like it's working like a charm. So far we've got no cobble in there, which is brilliant. Ooh, ooh. What's happened here then? Oh, everything was going so well. Everything was going so well. There's clearly a problem with the timing. Ah! Maybe that was a glitch. Maybe I'll just sit here for a little bit just to make sure that everything works as planned. But look, I mean, in no time at all, we've got a lot of stone. I mean, these guys should now not be short of stone. Brilliant. Literally, a couple of minutes tops. Couple of minutes tops, and we now have a boatload of stone. Ooh. Ooh. Have I counted up wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, that's right. There's obviously something wrong just under there. For some reason that piston isn't pushing it up, but apart from that, that should be easy enough to fix. But that looks like it's working. So Jaques and Wild, look at that, it's fabulous, it's massive. Jaques and Wild, enjoy the stone. Okay, so I've been messing about with it, and I thought I'd finished it, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with the fact that you turned it on, and once it was filled, it carried on working at the bottom. And I didn't want to play about with observers, because observer blocks and switches, they can be a bit glitchy, and I don't find them 100% accurate. However, I wanted a mechanism on there that stopped it from working once it was full. So I've gone back to the good old-fashioned etho hopper clock. This one here, it's slightly different from the original etho hopper clock, because it uses a standard piston and a sticky piston. So therefore it turns on, and then it works for a specific amount of time, and then it turns itself off again. And we've currently got 4 stacks and a few bits of stone in there, and that is just about the right amount of time to completely fill this up with stone. So to start it, you press the button that turns on the clock, which powers that piston, pushing it over here. I've had to go back to using... Oh, I need a torch down there, don't I? I'll have a couple of torches. I've had to go back to having a line of repeaters down here instead of a line of dust, because that was throwing off... I couldn't get my timing right, there was always either a misfire at the top where the pistons were pushing nothing, or we had cobblestone up there. So I've had to go back to having a full line of repeaters, and that seems to have done the trick. I've got a 4-tick delay on 2 of them. There's 1 tick on the rest of them. That seems to work. So that's that. That's what I've put in, and now it means you can turn it on. It fills up, then turns itself off again. So there's going to be no lag because it's in the spawn chunk with the pistons firing and everything else. It's going to cause a little bit of lag wherever you are on the server because this is always going to be running with it being in the spawn chunk. Now I can't, or can I? Let me mine a little. No, I'm not. I was going to mine a little bit, but there's no point because I don't need loads of cobble. And I've used my Silk Touch pick down to within an inch of its life, so I really can't show it off. Let me go back. I tell you what, I am going to show it off. I'm going to go and repair my pick. So I need to get to the super duper end farm, and then I'll be back in a second. We'll completely empty that out, and then and we'll have a look at it working. Right, so I'm back from the end farm. Took no time at all. I love that farm. Just got to run around now and pick up the stone, lob it in a chest. Have we got a spare one? Look at this. 2 double stacks full already. I've only been here for a day. Now I know that I could probably, if this was going to be a permanent fixture, then I'd probably put slabs on the floor, wooden slabs with hoppers underneath leading straight into the chests. But because it's not going to be a permanent fixture, not here anyway, then I'm not going to bother doing that. So we've left a couple up there. I was kind of hoping that my Instamine would get all of them, but it looks like it doesn't. But hey ho, a couple at the top isn't going to make a great deal of difference. So now we press a button, turns the system on, and as you can see now, the pulse is pretty standardised and it works as intended. We've got items flowing from that hopper into this hopper, and as long as they're flowing from that hopper into this or from this hopper back, as long as there's something in that hopper, the comparator is pulling a signal out of it, which is making the, obviously activating the piston, forcing the observer over there, keeping the system running. And as I say, there's just about enough items in there to completely fill the system. Okay, so it's filled, and we've got a few items left in the clock. Clock's run out. System's turned itself off. I can't get out. Yes, I can, and it's full again. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I've put in that little start-stop thing. So I guess we'll call it a day for today then, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And also don't forget to check out the rest of the alphas. They are all fantastic. Well worth a watch. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.